Sometimes I get really positive comments. Sometimes I get told that I have dead fish eyes. It's just how things are. Yeah.
I'm dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. It's been a minute since I've recorded last. I've got a big project with Pioneer Square where I've interviewed business owners, figuring out more DJ gigs as well. But, it was time to hop back in to do some more interviews. And why not start off with a banger with one of my favorite one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm a huge movie buff. Follow me on Letterboxd if you guys have Letterboxd. And basically, I organically found this guest's channel on YouTube. He covers movies with kind of like a twist where he gives the perspective of the antagonist versus the protagonist for the most part. And his channel has been growing pretty rapidly, so I was like, why not give this guy a shot and be on the podcast to learn more about his background? It's my pleasure to have on Nomsy.
You can call me George. I think that's a lot easier.
I can. Okay. I'm here with Curious George.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, I like that one. Curious George.
There we go.
That was my nickname actually growing up for some reason.
Oh shit. Maybe because you're curious, I'm guessing.
Yeah. No, it's because I asked a lot of questions and people used to get annoyed at me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have the same issue. I ask way too many questions. Like my interview style does not turn off camera. I'm just like an inquisitive guy. So from my understanding, your YouTube channel, Nomsy, started out as, I think it's called Team Fight Tactics or something like that. I've never played the game, but can you kind of give like a quick rundown of kind of how your YouTube channel started?
Oh yeah, so I don't know. It's really confusing to describe because it's all like a compounding thing. Like to be honest with you, I never wanted to have a YouTube channel. Like it was not something that I was like, I need to do this. But I was traveling South America. I went to Ecuador. I met my partner in Ecuador. And then she was like, hey, I was like, do you want to go to England with me? She said, no. I was like, okay. And she's like, do you want to go to Brazil with me? I was like, oh, yeah, okay, let's do that. And then being in Brazil, my options were teaching, which is fine. But then I just got it in my head. I was like, why not just make a YouTube channel? I play a lot of Teamfight Tactics, which is the game you just mentioned. And I was like really, really into it for a very long time. And so I just started with that. But after a couple months of doing with that, I got to like 3,000 subscribers or something. I was just like, this is just not going to pay the rent. Like it's fun, but it's just not going to do it. So I had to pivot. And that's where I ended up today with what I do now.
So Nomsy is a character in the game, am I right?
Yeah. So originally, like I think it's about like 3 years ago, that character was just in the game, and then I used that character to hit top 100 in Europe. And so I just kind of stuck with it because it's kind of like an homage to that point in time.
Got it. So were you able to like ever make money from playing games online, or how did that work?
Only with the channel, man. And even then
there we go.
It was only peanuts like then, but it was still good. I enjoyed doing it. I still have a few people that I met from doing that kind of stuff.
Nice. Yeah. So you're originally from the UK and now you're in Brazil or something like that. Yeah. How did that? Are you like a world traveler, or how did that even come to be?
Yeah, it's again a very long story because I'm 32 years old. Cool. I left England when I was 24. I went to Australia. I lived there for 2 years, and then I went to New Zealand. Lived there for 5 years, and then I went to North America. Like I went to America to see my dad, and then I came down to South America 2 years ago now. Actually, now that I think about it,
it's just like you've always wanted to travel, or was it like
no?
Because I'm 24 right now, so I'm like, damn, maybe I should. That's kind of a goal of mine, is to, become a world traveler. Like I could, close my studio for a week and still be fine. So I'm like, maybe I should just get out and explore, because I've always lived in the same area, Seattle, my entire life. I've moved different houses as I've continued to grow and stuff, but
I mean, here. Yeah, no, it wasn't like a passion of mine. You might begin to learn that I don't really do the stuff that I want to do. I just end up doing things because it's like the natural progression. And it's like, okay, so, I mean, I'm going to be very candid here. I was not in the best state in England. I was doing a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be doing with people that I shouldn't be doing it with, living on a friend's sofa. And I was just like, if I'm going to waste my life, I might as well waste it on the other side of the planet. And so I left, you know, and that was it. It was like the best thing that I think I ever did. Like I got completely clean, quit smoking, quit pretty much everything.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, is that part of like your personality then? Like you're a sober guy or?
No, not really. I don't really. It's just something that happened.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of people, they gravitate to having like, you know, one or two elements that dictate their personality. And I think that's like kind of reductive. I don't really sit there and say my personality is this. I just do what I want to do when I want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Dang, that's pretty interesting though. Damn. So like when you were living in the UK, did you have like a career in mind or anything like that or?
No, man, no, like come on. Come on. I mean, I went to study IT.
Okay.
And then after, you know, pretty much like 6 years of that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. This is pretty miserable. And so instead I went to go pick fruit in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it pays really well out there.
Well, you get paid to pick fruit?
Yeah, it's actually it's really good down in Australia. Like if you're really young, right, you're under the age of 30, like you can go to Australia or New Zealand, pick fruit, you get quite a decent wage from it, and you get to travel around the country. It's really good fun.
What? Is that like, maybe this is completely different, but would that be like similar to like someone deciding to like work in a warehouse? Like how common is picking fruit compared to like someone in Seattle potentially like working at an Amazon warehouse or something? You know what I mean? Like, is that in the similar vein or is it like?
I mean, yeah, it's similar, but there's a different vibe, you know, because it's like when you're doing it like in your hometown or in your home country, you're like, this is pretty shit. Is this all I'm doing with my life? Right. But if you're doing it in another country, it's like, well, I'm traveling. Yeah. I'm just having fun. I'm just, you know, doing whatever I need to do to continue my travels. So you can like rationalize it in a completely different way. It changes how you do it and how you feel about it. But, you know, if you sat in a factory in your hometown, you get pretty sick of it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I bet.
But,
Man. So is there like a place you've always wanted to live that you plan to like settle down in? Or are you just happy where you are now? Or what is that kind of like?
I don't know, not really. I mean, I'm pretty happy where I am. Like, it's actually a really like coincidental thing. Like, if you go back like literally 12 years ago, I remember I used to go out drinking, and I remember just like always saying I'm going to go to Brazil one day, and then people would be like, yeah, and I was like, I'm going to move to Brazil, and then completely forgot about it, and then it just kind of happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all really really bizarre. It just kind of happens.
How far away is Brazil from the UK?
Hours, maybe 10 hours by flight, 12 hours by flight.
Nice.
So it's not that far.
It's like, and how has it like changed you as a person? Do you feel like?
I mean, man. I've been through many transformations in my life. I've lived like a lot of different lives, and I think it's like the combination of traveling, and then because I've had periods where I've had like good times. I've had periods where it's bad times. Like, I've been like homeless for times and stuff like that. So there's like a whole like like a mismatch of everything. And then traveling, it does change you. Like it allows you to see the different perspective of other people, right? Because you see there are so many people in the world. And so you go and do it, and then you meet people, you enjoy your time, you do stuff that you don't particularly like, but you're doing it anyway. So you end up developing like a work ethic, which is crazy, by the way. I couldn't imagine having a work ethic when I was like 18 years old. And then you just keep on going. But for me, the single most transformative thing I think I've ever done is ayahuasca, believe it or not.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That one really does do a lot of things. And again, my YouTube channel is like a natural byproduct of that. And like being able to do this is a byproduct of that as well. because despite me traveling around the world, which people would think is confidence, I'm an incredibly nervous and anxious individual. So I wouldn't be able to do this like 2 years ago. No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy actually. But
Dang.
then,
So what got you into ayahuasca? That's kind of a wild
I mean,
thing.
like, when
Brazil, I guess.
no, yeah, Brazil is completely illegal, so it's awesome. And I can literally just, well, technically, I can walk down the street and buy it. Well, I can order it online if I want to, and magic mushrooms as well, but I don't do that. But yeah, no, it was just like, I used to do a lot of like hallucinogens when I was like 18, 19. And I got it in my head that I wanted to do that. And so, yeah, when I went traveling, I was like, okay, I'll go to South America at the end, and then I'll take ayahuasca. So everything kind of led to that point, and then from that point, everything has kind of stemmed from it. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
I thought you had to go to like the jungle or something and be around a bunch of shamans, but I feel like you described it like you go to the grocery store and you just pick it
I mean,
up.
it's okay. No, I mean, like, it's not quite that simple, right? Technically, you should go and, like, if you were doing it for your first time, I would highly recommend doing it in like a professional setting, because it is absolutely hairy. Like, it's not easy, right?
Mhm.
And then, so I originally did it in Ecuador with some shamans, but it was in the mountains.
Wow.
And it was a really nice environment. It was more like a wellness retreat than anything. And it was like, but it was cool. These days, though, there's some people that I know in Sao Paulo who have like a small little gathering, and I go there and hang out with them and take it.
Oh, wow.
But they're from a shamanistic institute. I shouldn't do quotation marks. They're from a shamanistic institute.
Nice. Oh, so this is like kind of like a thing you've done multiple times then. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah. I try to do it every few months at least, but it's never easy.
Do you feel like you grow each time you've done it?
No, not every time, but a lot of the times it does do the trick. It depends on the day. It's not. It's like everything in life. You can't. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. It's just how the dice roll.
Yeah, you can't put everything on like ayahuasca or maybe
no.
stars or whatever to fix you.
No, man. Like you just realize that life is just work, and whatever you work at is whatever you do. So,
but that's kind of interesting though, because like obviously there was like other things that led to me wanting to create a podcast. I was in radio for a bit and stuff like that. But like, I remember I did shrooms one time, and like everything kind of like clicked on how I wanted to do my podcast and everything. So that's kind of interesting that you're saying you kind of were maybe a bit inspired by ayahuasca to create your channel.
No, it wasn't that ayahuasca inspired me to create my channel. It was the fact that originally, actually, I was writing a book. Actually, I was writing 2 books, actually. That was like originally my plan, but then I wrote them and I was like, I'm not a big fan of these. So, it's a lot of work down the toilet. And then
what?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you like about them?
Well, it's just that I'm a very hasty writer. Like, I'm very impatient. So I got diagnosed with ADHD. Could you believe it?
Oh,
and so when you're trying to write like 80,000 words, it gets very stressful for me. So,
I bet.
So I decided they are finished, but I'm keeping them to myself now.
Oh. Are you gonna like? You don't think you'll ever like release them, or
no?
Like, what are they about? Or is that private?
No, I mean, I can tell you what they're about. One is like what I describe as like kind of like a love letter to my depression, right? And it was like it's about a story about a guy who kills himself, and it's like watching his life flash before his eyes, kind of thing. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty unique spin on that, and it was just like I was like really in a dark place at that point in time, and then it kind of like helped me with like emotional catharsis to get through it. And the other one was a completely different thing, by the way. It's about humanity at the end of the universe, like when the last black hole was about to die, and like the battle of survival with like different societies and stuff.
Those both seem like interesting topics,
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, maybe you should like frame them at the least.
Pardon?
Or you should frame them at least and put them on a wall or something, you know?
I mean, they're on my computer somewhere, so
There we go.
yeah. I don't know. It was just a nice thing to finish and like prove to myself that I can finish something if I need to, or if I want to, or if I can.
Yeah. So
yeah.
then do you use those like writing skills sort of for your YouTube channel now, or how does that work?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to explain because, like, you know, I feel like a fucking imposter, to be honest with you. Like, I have no idea how this all happens. It's like I've got no fucking idea. It just happened one night. Like I was like, okay, this is it now. Okay. So yeah, like obviously I take a lot of pride in writing the scripts because I have a lot of fun. I hate the editing though. But I guess you could say like my writing has helped me with this because like it's always been like I like characters. I like characters a lot. And so I like to think about people's motivations. This comes from like a personal interest of mine to just think about other people, like, and actually just try to understand their perspective on pretty much everything. Because it's just interesting, to be honest with you. And so I guess you could say like, this was always like the natural progression. Like I was always going to do something about me trying to understand other people's minds because it's just always been like that.
Nice.
So when I'm doing my scripts, I'm trying to imagine what it is like to be them. Now I'm trying to like feel how they feel and do the things that they do and understand everything that they're thinking. But yeah, it doesn't always work.
So how, because I, you know, even editing a podcast, people just see like the final product. They don't really know the time and effort that goes into something. So for you on a normal video, on an average video, how much time actually goes into like writing the scripts, then, you know, revising, editing, uploading, etc.?
I mean, so basically the general flow is I'll watch the video, like watch the movie, like the whole way through. And then what I'll do is I'll start watching it again, but I'll write alongside it. And then I'll rewatch it, but only from the perspective of the character, trying to forget most of the other things that happen. So that way I'm only thinking in the perspective of the character. But this one's normally done on like 2x speed or something. And then I'm like writing the script, and then I'll go through it again, and then I'll edit it. And then I'll go through it again. And then after that, like I'll start recording it, and then I'll see how the recording is, see how I feel about it, and then it's the editing and everything. But I'd say like in total, like so maybe like 15 to 20 hours of work for one video. Depends on the length.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you started gaining traction within the first video or two? Like, you know, sometimes if people make a channel and they put in all that work and there isn't much return, it can be discouraging. So when did you start seeing any milestones? I was like, oh, maybe this is worthwhile to spend these 15 to 20 hours of work.
I mean, so So I have an eye for spotting things that are like kind of underutilized, right? So like the original inspiration from my channel and what happened is Mugiwara no Goofy, the guy that does the One Piece content. And like he's the absolute GOAT, right? And I basically saw his content and I was like, I kind of want that, but done, not done. Like I kind of want that, like more of that. But I couldn't like just straight up rip it all, right? Like I had to put my own spin on it, make it my own, so that way it didn't feel so bad. Like he gets a credit in every single one of my videos because like, you know, his inspiration is like the sole reason for why that is. But also because it was like a kind of established idea, I kind of had a 70% certainty that it would succeed, you know? Yeah, no, seriously. Because it's like, it's how these things work in YouTube. It's like you're trying to find a trend that is, you know, established but underutilized. And then once you do that, you just continue on. And that's how it all like took off. So actually, with the first video that I did, which was Clagger, which wasn't a villain actually, it did really well, beyond my expectation. It kind of encouraged me to continue. But then I kept on doing Arcane, right? And then like they didn't really do that well. And I was like, okay, well the whole point was to do Arcane stuff for Arcane Season 2 release, right? But then it didn't. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll pivot into other movies and stuff. And then that's kind of what happened. And then I did Avatar, The Last Airbender. Apparently people don't like it that I call it Avatar: The Legend of Aang. Because growing up, right, Nickelodeon, it was called Avatar: The Legend of Aang in England. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's where the Legend of Korra comes from.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, people didn't like that, which is fair enough, you know. I've noticed that Americans get very upset about some phrasing. I had one guy get really upset that I called an apartment a flat, which is so funny. But yeah, like the Avatar video, that took off, and I was like, oh, okay then. And then it kind of like spiraled from there.
Dang.
But so far, I think my best video is still Ken. Yeah.
Okay.
The B movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I don't know. When I was growing up, I never really felt that attached to the B movie, but I didn't realize how like much of a cultural phenomenon I guess the B movie is or was. Or
well, here's the fucking most hilarious bit about all of that, by the way, is like when I uploaded that video, I was like, it's not going to perform well. And then it got copyright striked. Not copyright, but it got flagged for like content. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. It's only gonna do whatever. I did not expect it to, you know, become my most viewed video. So
how do you get the footage? How does that affect like copyright or anything like that?
I mean, the copyright's kind of fine. It depends on the movie, right? So some things I have to like. I have to buy the physical DVD, which is very challenging in Brazil. And then sometimes it's like just a matter of trying to find the stuff that I need on YouTube and stuff.
Because I've been thinking about that, because you see, you know, there's a lot of different YouTube channels that cover video games or movies in some form. So I've always, because I want to start doing that to a certain extent. I thought it'd be interesting. Is like I'm really big into, you know, movies, and I play video games if they're more like story driven. I don't really play a lot of online games, but I thought it'd be cool to like maybe do some things where it's like a crossover of how the game compares to a movie or whatever. But I'm like, how do people get the footage? Like, I was wondering if there's like a internet archive or subscription where people find that stuff, or it's just people just have to.
No, it's called Sailing the Seven Seas, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
So do you have to like mark?
Pretty much everyone does that. No one will tell you that though, because obviously, like, it's not exactly like good to say.
So then YouTube knows that, and then they just like decide randomly who they're going to flag or not.
Well, it's because it's really hard to explain. It's like the legality is like, as long as it's like fair use. For instance, you're giving critique or transforming it, it's kind of fine. How you source it is hopefully irrelevant. I don't really know. It seems like a bit of a gray area, to be honest with you. Some people, they record like the entire movie, and then some people, they just, you know, they pirate it. Some people buy physical DVDs, but it's very difficult unless you have a Blu-ray player. So,
right.
And also some things, they don't actually get released onto DVD these days. So,
yeah, that's true. I've been like, one of my friends owns a movie store like up the street from my house. So like I've been going there and just collecting movies just to, you know, enjoy physical copies. Like, do you go out of your way to like build a DVD collection? Are you into collecting movies, or is it more to make the content around them?
It's more utilitarian. But the other one that you can do if you're really worried about it is use promotional material. So if you use like adverts and trailers and stuff, completely fine. They don't care.
Dang.
Yeah, so if you ever want to do that, just get the trailer stuff. Hope it matches with what you're doing, and then I did that with a couple of things. There was a couple of unreleased videos that I did that with.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So another interesting thing that you do is that you actually like show your face on camera. There's a lot of movie reviewers or whatever that either have, I forget what it's called, like an avatar or something, or it's just a voiceover. Was there a specific reason why you decided to kind of be the face of the channel in that way?
Laziness.
Huh.
Pure laziness, because then you don't have to source as many clips.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, no. Yeah. The amount of time that my face is on camera is less time that I have to go and scrub through a movie for a clip.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And are you like what do you use to like edit? Are you like on Adobe or?
Oh no. So originally okay, it's funny. I mean, I sometimes use DaVinci if I'm feeling up to it, but to be honest with you, I use CapCut.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. No, because it's just easy. Like I don't like need any like bells and whistles. Like I don't really add sound effects because I think that doesn't change much.
Right.
And you know, I did a few videos, but it didn't do anything. It just you know, yeah, it just didn't do anything. So I was just like, why would I do that when the end result is the same? Doesn't make any sense. You know, no one ever complains about it.
I never realized the rawness of how you put it together then, because from my perspective, it looks really good, you know, and like I literally own like a physical studio space where clients come in and pay me to produce their shows and edit it. And I kind of took that route because I have it's been gaining traction, but I have a very generalized podcast overall because I just kind of interview people that intrigue me versus what I can appreciate about your show is that, you know, I come to your show for specifically to watch movies or, you know, or whatever. So I decided to, you know, open a studio to be like, if I'm not going to be a full-time podcaster yet or YouTuber yet, I can have a space where I can share, like, you know, get paid for my knowledge. So
yeah, that's
either way, I'm a full-time podcaster now, whether I have a big channel or not, you know. So that's interesting to see or understand kind of how you go about making your channel work.
I mean, these days I use more like this, and then I darken it, and then I change some of like the settings to make it like a little bit nicer to look at. But before I was just using the green screen because, like, to be honest with you, my apartment is a mess. Not like not like a mess, but like it's my girlfriend's a teacher, so there's always, you know, books and papers and stuff lying everywhere, and I've got 3 cats, and then just very complicated. So just having like a little space. Wow. Yeah, they always seem to want to do stuff whenever I'm recording.
Amazing.
I'm surprised they're not doing anything right now, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, I forgot you used to do like the aura around
yeah. That was like purely accidental, right? Basically I fucked up the green screen one time and I was like, but I like the take. And so with CapCut you can just put an aura around you and then it worked. And I was like, all right, I did that. A couple of people commented saying, I like this. And I'm like, okay, I might as well just do this then. And that'll be like kind of branding. That was kind of like how that happened. But then after a while, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So this way, this is just easier now. I just have like this little setup.
Huh. Well, it looks really good and pretty professional. I'm not going to lie.
Nice.
So you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Purely accidental. I'm good. I'm assure you.
So it's interesting to see like how your channel continues to grow. Like I've noticed you have the polling system for like your community and stuff. And so how has it been growing a community and actually like conversing with them and figuring out what videos you're going to make, etc.? Like do you ever feel like you're kind of pigeonholed to what your community wants, or now that you've changed from like video games and like the arcane to making specific movies and stuff like that?
So the polling thing I have now learned is, while it's good for like community engagement, I do like doing it. Sometimes it can lead to like the wrong video, you know. But I don't mind that necessarily because like sometimes I like just doing videos because people want to see them, right? So Titanic has been requested for months by a lot of people, but it never won a poll, right? And I wanted to make that video, but obviously like when people vote for a poll, they expect it to happen. So I couldn't do the video that I wanted to. So, but now I think the poll system's kind of like not reached the end point, but I think I'm going to be a little bit more reserved about the polling thing. What do you do? Just because it's like I want to be able to do the things that I want to do as well.
Yeah.
Maybe once every other video I do polls instead of like once every video kind of thing. Yeah.
And have you always been interested in movies? Has that kind of been a passion of yours, or is it just kind of YouTube got you more into watching movies?
It's actually like no. I can you see Tay? It was never really a passion. I mean, I like movies. I love movies a lot, but it was never like I wasn't like that guy that was like, oh my god, I need to see all these movies. It was just like, okay, this is fun. But it's also something that I find deeply fascinating to think about characters. So it's not really movies necessarily. Like I'll do other mediums. It's just that movies are they're the easiest, honestly. Like you can do series, and I did that with Avatar. But then you're sat there watching a series for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty stressful, So I decided, maybe I just stick to movies for a little while until I, build up my, my skill kind of thing.
Fair enough. Do you have like a favorite character or character you relate to the most, whether you've made a video about them or haven't yet?
No, not really. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't really. I don't really think of myself as another character. I don't really go, oh, I identify with that character. It's just,
oh shit.
For me, like I am just me. Like I don't sit there and go, I am that, I am this. I just let myself enjoy things. I let myself hate things. I don't really care about trying to be anything that anyone else expects of me. I just care about being me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I like that. For me, I don't know if it's an issue or not, but I feel like for me, it's easier for me. I don't want to box people in, but sometimes it's easy for me to be like, oh, so is this your interest? Oh, this isn't your interest or whatever, to get to understand them. But then I'm open to, being like, no, there's more facets to a person. But, for me, sometimes it's easy to like get to understand like a baseline of what a person kind of reminds me of or who they remind me of, and then build from there.
I mean, I get a lot of comparisons on my comments. Oh, you look like him. Oh, you look like that. Oh, you sound like this. Like all the time, right? I'm just like, okay, cool, that's fine. You do you guys. I'll let you have fun with that one.
Oh my gosh.
But it is what it is. People always look to compare people with others, So it's just a natural byproduct. And obviously, being a face, it just opens yourself up to that. Sometimes I get really positive comments. Sometimes I get told that I have dead fish eyes. It's just how things are. Yeah.
I'm dead. Okay.
It's so funny, man. Some of the comments I get just make me giggle to no end. Because people take it so seriously, man. They just take it so seriously. It's what it is.
Yeah. And as you can see, I am a fan of Mickey Mouse. I feel like I relate to Mickey Mouse. So I kind of theme a lot of my stuff. Like I have like a whole like Mickey Mouse wall to the right of me and stuff, but it's kind of it's kind of my thing.
I can't see it because I'm facing away from my computer. Wait, you identify with Mickey Mouse? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a
you
Disney
want to be
adult.
like you want to be the face of a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate.
Oh my God, no! I feel my answer to that always is I feel like if it wasn't Walt Disney, it would have been someone else. And maybe Mickey Mouse was ripped by someone else.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But, like an idea can be, anyone can have an idea. It's just who's going to make that come to life first. So so I just connect. And it just happened to be a guy who's a potential Nazi and owned I
Oh,
watched your Inglorious Bastards video.
Yeah, no, I actually edited out a oh no, it's Hades. Oh yeah, no, Hades. I actually edited out a line on that because I was like, maybe just in case like a Disney person watches it and then they blacklist me, I'll probably cut it out.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like, why did they make Hades evil? Like, why did they make Hades Jewish? Oh right, yeah, because it's Disney.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, maybe not that one. Yeah. There's a lot of jokes that I don't add in because I'm just like, maybe that one's a little bit too far. Yeah. But
yeah. How do you find that happy medium of when it's good to say a joke or not?
I mean, typically,
if it's
if it's a sex joke, it's pretty okay. But if it's like, but it's just if you jab fun at like other people's like cultures and stuff, that's when it gets a little bit more complicated. But then people get upset about anything, right? If we take my Bugs Life video, I had a guy calling me anti-Semitic because I was making fun of oligarchy. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? He's like, the oligarchy is made up of Jewish people, therefore you are anti-Semitic. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh,
what kind of what? Oh,
it's like one of those things where like the people that are trying to defend another community are the ones that end up being more racist because they're the ones that are thinking in the terms that they're all Jewish people or whatever. Like, I don't know if everyone's thinking in that way, but you're thinking in that way. So it actually is more offensive that you're the one that put that out there than
I mean, there is
original thought.
Yeah, there's an element to that. That's a bit of white knighting that I kind of disagree with. I don't believe that, we should make fun of people to be mean or malicious, right? I don't think we should ever exclude anyone, and I think we should all be inclusive. But grandstanding ideals normally comes from like a sense of like benevolence, like I am superior because I have these lofty ideals that make me seem better than you. And I find that one to be a little bit unsavory, because it's not really built out of a foundational element of being like a good person. It's simply ego driven. It's not like I'm doing this because sometimes it is that way, but a lot of the time it's like just because they want to look good rather than actually be good.
Now you see that a lot in Seattle. Like the big thing right now is like the Elon Musk protests and stuff. But like Seattle's a tech city, so everyone for the most part has a Tesla. But then they'll put like a sticker that says, I bought this before Elon turned bad, or they'll put like an X through their Tesla thing, or like during COVID, there was like the Black Lives Matter protests and stuff, and it's just like these these rich white people that have like a Black Lives Matter sign in their yard, and they're like, okay, now I'm a good person, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And I'm not sitting there saying that we shouldn't celebrate Black Lives Matter, but it's like it should be done with the spirit of doing the right thing, not doing it to show you're better than everyone else.
Right, 100%. I agree with that. But also, I don't know why this keeps coming to my head, but my favorite sex joke you've made is the fucking Thor's hammer.
Oh, yeah. There's so many people that did not like that joke. You have no idea.
What? Oh, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, actually.
But
I mean, it's so obvious, though. That's the problem. Like, it's an obvious joke. No, my favorite joke, and only one person actually got it from, if I remember. Actually, there was two jokes that only a few people got. Oh fuck! I forgot what the first one is. I forgot. But the idea of like calling Tony Stark a medieval knight because he's a guy of gentrification. He's like an aristocrat, getting on a suit of armor to go and defend the peasants. That was the idea of the Iron Man, like the medieval knight.
Yeah.
But only one person got that.
That was the Thanos one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then the other one was Tangled, and it's like, oh, they're not Spanish Inquisitors, so everything they did was very expected. Only one person got that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So how'd you come up with these titles, by the way? Because like it's very catchy. It's
what
like,
do you mean?
For your episodes, like your YouTube titles.
Like, I mean, they're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's like a cool thing. That's like I appreciate it at least because I know each time that I want to go to a video, I'm like, oh, it's this perspective or whatever. You know, sometimes it's clean and concise to have. You know, it's like when there's like Star Wars episode 12, you're like, I'm going for Star Wars. And then for you, it's like from the perspective of, I'm like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's basically just it, really. It's like, and then it depends on what I'm trying to do. Some of them are just funny because, and I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, most of my videos are done through the lens of irony. Like, I'm not trying to sympathize with these people for the most part. There are some that are actually like legitimately tragic, right? I'm not trying to sympathize with them. I'm low key making fun of them.
Right.
But for some reason, people think I'm being earnest, which is surreal. But I think that was funny. So yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. Is like if it's like surprisingly tragic, and I think in the case of like the Cars movie, it is surprisingly tragic that he's such an asshole.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't know.
What's his name again? I always forget. It's
Chick Hicks.
Chick. What's his fucking race? Chugga or
Kachiga, right?
That's so on the nose.
Yeah, it's like, you know, car, but you know, if you know, it's like car plus, but with a hard, like you add the hard R, you know. Like, okay. Yeah. Fucking hell.
These go out to all my chiggas out there. Oh my gosh, that's.
Yeah, man. These Cars is such a wild movie, and I was really surprised how well that video did. To be honest with you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So, this might be a very general question, but like, have you always had like a sense of humor, or has YouTube kind of helped you figure out how to be more like silly or whatever? Or
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a right way to phrase that, but.
I don't know how this all came about, to be honest with you, man. Like, this is all just like, I'm still processing what's going on, to be honest with you. I would never have said that I was particularly funny at all, to be honest with you. So I just put some shit out there and then hope it stuck. And then people found it funny. I was like, okay, cool. Let's continue doing that then. That was it. I don't know, man. Like, I was never particularly hilarious as a kid, or even remotely funny. And I was very sensitive, actually. I would never be able to take a joke. But then, you know, luckily I grew up with 3 older brothers that make you take a joke. You know, make you take it not so seriously, because it's like, you know, when you're a kid, like, and I was like always like very baby faced, very like androgynous looking. So I was always getting bullied. And so you learn to flip it over, you know, lean into the bullying, so that way they kind of stop bullying you, to be honest with you. So I guess humor is more of like a self-defense mechanism than, you know, anything like that. Yeah. It's like you just do it to deflect people away from making it go any further. And they're like, oh, you think it's funny? Okay, well, we'll leave you alone. It's basically it. So.
Fair enough. So, like, what would you say your goals are with your channel? Has that, maybe you started out just, you know, uploading videos, but like, have you kind of, as you continue to progress with your channel, do you have like goals and aspirations with it?
I mean, my goals aren't with this channel necessarily. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to keep on doing this because it's, you know, it's fun. People enjoy it. But I want to do other things as well. You know, I'm a serious guy that also doesn't take it very seriously. It's a paradox. We learn to deal with paradoxes where I am. But I want to do other things. You know, right now I'm going through the process of recording a video about one of my ancestors. So my ancestor, he was an explorer from the 1800s. And he went through Africa and Brazil, which is really coincidental. No idea he was there until, like, literally I was here and I was like, oh wow, he was here. But yeah, he traveled these things. Like, he documented, I think it was like 80,000 species of animals, kind of thing. And so I wanted to kind of like tell his story because he's relatively unknown. And also, like, his journey through South America is completely unknown because no one knows what happened. because he didn't write a book about it. So I just thought it'd be fun to like go and talk about that. It's like I have like a really, really deep passion for the natural world. Like, growing up, all I wanted to do was be the next David Attenborough or be the next Steve Irwin kind of thing, right? Like they are my heroes and they'll always be my heroes. And so now I've got this position where I can kind of like fulfill that childhood dream. And so I want to do that. I'm doing it now. I'm heading back to England in 2 weeks to go and film some footage there.
Wow.
And then after that, I'll, have a video on my hands, I hope.
Dang. That's super exciting.
Yeah, no, it is. For me, it's like amazing. Like, it's like a whole, like, a whole thing. And then also there's other things I want to talk about because like I like philosophy, especially like existentialism and stuff. Like I really like to think about stuff. And so like I want to talk about topics that interest me, but I don't feel like I can't do that on my channel so much because it's like, now I've gone so far down this hole. I think it'd be very difficult to claw myself back out.
Oh shit! So like, do you feel like you're gonna have to like make a second channel or something?
Yeah, no, I'll make a second channel, and it'll just be like stream of consciousness kind of stuff, like stuff I'm just vaguely interested in without having to worry or fixate on like algorithm stuff, And I'm just doing it because I want to do it rather than feel that I'm pressured to.
Nice.
But I have like 4 videos lined up for that when I eventually get around to doing them or editing them, I should say.
Nice. So do you have like goals of like potentially like hiring a staff for that then? Like do you want to get to a point where you're just able to like sit down in a chair, tell the story of whether it's a movie or something philosophical or whatever, or do you enjoy kind of being like a one-man band right now?
I don't know, because I have tried to hire people. And I have tried to, get other people to help me with the stuff, but it just doesn't work. And also, like, I get nervous about that kind of stuff, man. It's like, oh, God, I have to go and, like, negotiate business with people. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to worry about paying and invoices and, no, it just freaks me out. So I just don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like a complete aversion to... It would be nice, though, if I had, like, a proper editor to, like, sit down and go through it and everything.
Yeah. Well, how did a manager come to be? Because that's kind of interesting. I never really thought about that YouTube channels could have a manager or whatever.
I mean, I have my talent agent, like my agent. But it's just because he messaged me. Honestly, it was like, "Hey, I want to like go and talk to people about sponsorships on your behalf," and I was like, "Yeah, right. That sounds great, to be honest." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take like a 20% cut." And I was like, "Okay, fine. I don't have to do any work," and it kind of worked it has worked. He's got me a few sponsorship deals. I don't really care about sponsorships, to be honest with you. It was just nice to have. Yeah. But now he just goes off and does his own thing. I don't really push for anything anymore like that. I just don't want sponsorships, man, because it's like, in one hand they're great, but they're a monkey paw, right? Because like, every time you give a sponsorship, you are eroding a small amount of trust from your audience, and like most of them don't care, but they're like the fleeting ones. They're like, oh, I don't like that. But then there's also like, you sign non-disparagement clauses, so I can't say shit about something. So you end up like in a pickle where you're like, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. So, yeah,
right.
It's frustrating sometimes.
Well, it's interesting because you do have like a membership community, so that's kind of helpful, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah. So with my memberships and stuff, they will. I do some videos for them, and then, at a certain tier, I will make a video for someone. They literally pay me $20, I make a video for it.
Nice.
And I think that's a nice little gesture. But yeah, the membership community is slowly taken off. But I think the more I add to it, the more it will come in and have a good time. But yeah, I don't know. Memberships is a lot nicer to me than sponsorship videos. But it's a
that
bit
makes
more
sense.
challenging. Yeah. Nah, sponsorships are just something about it. Don't get me wrong, the money's excellent, but I don't care about money that much.
Yeah.
You know?
So you don't envision yourself being like some I don't know if envision's the right word. Like do you feel that like you're a YouTuber and that you want to be like associated with other YouTubers, or you just feel like you're someone who has this opportunity to like document things and share stories? And
okay, to be honest, it's the second one, right? Like I don't want to be a YouTuber. And actually, when people say, "What do you do for work?" I say, "I have a YouTube channel." Right? I don't go, "I'm a YouTuber," because there's something about it. I don't know, man. Like as long as I'm comfortable and happy, that's all I care about. Like I don't need to be, big shot millionaire with fucking 2 million subscribers. It just doesn't interest me. Like I don't want that kind of pressure either. Like I'm very happy with where I am. I'm actually really happy that my viewership has gone down, like relatively speaking.
Wow.
Because there is like a lot of innate pressure there, and it's like I get burnt out so quickly with that kind of stuff. So I try to keep it a little bit more low key.
Yeah. So you're not trying to hang out with Mr. Beast.
Actually, coincidentally, for his Neymar video, he was here. Like he was like fucking like 300 meters down the road from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dang.
But I didn't see him unfortunately. But that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. So are you inspired by any YouTube channels? Like, do you watch? Are you like a YouTube consumer?
Mugiwara no Goofy, man. I already told you. Like that
yeah,
guy
fair
inspired
enough.
my whole channel. But these days, I don't know. I vary slightly. So recently, I've got into Doug because I just think how he does a stream is just amazing. It's hilarious. It's funny. But then most of the stuff I listen to, or I say listen to or watch is stuff like history of the universe, history of the Earth. There's a little bit of Veritasium, but not so much these days because I find these a bit cringe. There's a lot of like more educational content that I consume, rather than like abject entertainment.
Interesting.
Yeah, just how I am. Like I like to learn and think. I don't sit there to mindlessly interact with anything.
Wow,
it just doesn't work.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow, because I feel like. Oh, continue. My bad.
No. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I'm on like the complete opposite spectrum. I almost feel like I consume stuff to be inspired, but like, I don't know. I don't really feel like I've found a specific channel that makes me want to like learn from it. Like, for example, I don't know if you know who Papa Meat is or Meat Canyon.
No.
But
like, wait. There's a vague thing in the back of my mind that recognizes that name.
He makes like the fucked up versions of childhood cartoons and stuff.
That one. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
So like this is like one of his merch shirts that like I got for like my birthday or something. Like I like stuff like that, or like entertainment podcasts, but like I don't really like. I'll produce health podcasts and stuff, and like I'm happy to have a space where serious people want to be in my studio to record, but like I'm just like all like I do like psychological thrillers and stuff, I guess, but I don't know if that's really on the same page as being it is. Watching the History Channel. I like thinking though, but
I mean
mindless YouTube's good too.
Yeah, but different strokes for different folks. I have a consistent and driving need to extract dopamine from whatever I can get it from, right? Unfortunately, but education is the easiest one for me, so I like to learn.
Yeah.
So it just works. And so now I just watch all of the bullshit that I probably shouldn't be watching because it's like it doesn't really change anything, does it? I should probably look at more channels for inspiration, but I was like, do I really?
You don't need to. You're doing just fine, man. You
Yeah.
literally just popped into my algorithm one day, and like I've watched almost every one of your videos, and like I'm super inspired by you even. So like I think you're doing just fine.
Do you know what's really funny? None of my family knows about this, by the way.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, no, didn't tell her. Yeah. I didn't even want to like give anyone my channel name at all. Because it makes me feel very, I don't know, it's something weird about people who know you, knowing you, and seeing what you do versus like random strangers on the internet.
Yeah. Damn. Do you ever think about that, like being recognized in public? Like, how would you react to that? Would that make you feel weird, or would you feel like
I would probably just not stop laughing.
No.
Like, to be honest with you, I think the whole situation would be just so funny to me. But luckily, being in Brazil, the chances of me being recognized are so slow. It's so slim. I'd need to go to America, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
America is where 70% of my audience is. So.
Ah.
Yeah, England's only like 5% or something stupid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is sad. I kind of would like more English people, but yeah.
Huh. So in Brazil, like, does that mean you know any other languages then, or like how does that work for
Eu
you?
falo pouco português, no?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but só para sobrevivo.
No idea what you're saying, but okay.
Only to survive.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
That's super cool though, man. I'm excited. I'm happy that I was able to learn more about your background. You know, I had no idea. You seem like an interesting guy.
It's weird. Like from an outside perspective, it all seems pretty interesting. Like if I lay out my story, people are like, "Wow, that's crazy," and I'm just like, "Yeah, but honest to God, like it was pretty fucking boring." Like for the most part, because it's just like that. Whatever's the same is just it gets boring. It doesn't matter what you do, you know. It's just how it is. Anything you do
normalize
consistent.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Once you normalize something, it gets pretty boring.
Yeah.
So like 5 years being in New Zealand, it gets pretty boring. But I still look back at those times and be like, damn, that was such a good experience, you know? It's interesting. Wow. It's like in that moment. Sorry.
Oh, no, you continue. My bad.
No, you continue. No.
I was just going to say I've literally only been to like Canada because literally that's like 4-hour drive maybe from Seattle. And I think Mexico when I was like a little kid. So it's inspiring to see someone who like makes content that I enjoy, but also has this like full life that they've lived and continue to live, you know?
I mean, I was very, very lucky growing up, you know, because like my dad was quite successful. So we used to go on like, you know, quite extravagant holidays, right? Like when you really think about it. So like because of my dad, like I had a Japanese stepmom. So I've been to Japan twice. You know, and then I've been all around Europe. Been to South. My granddad was South African, so I've been there. So yeah, and my dad lives in America now, so I've been all around America, to be honest with you. Even Minnesota for some reason. I don't know why, but we went to Minnesota one weekend. That was it.
Have you been to Seattle?
No, I thought about it.
Oh.
Yeah, no. When I came through after New Zealand, I did the Amtrak from LA to Washington. So you go like Amtrak to Chicago, like the train. It takes like 2 days, and then from Chicago down to Washington. And I thought maybe I could go to Washington D.C., not Washington State. And I thought about going up to Washington or doing it from there, but then I was like, no, okay, there's no point. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have a favorite country then, I guess?
I mean, there's so many good ones, man. It's so hard to pick a favorite. Like, I really like Ecuador. But Ecuador's fucking dangerous. Like, scary dangerous a lot of the time. When you're walking around Quito, you're just like, oh, yeah. And then you're told, don't go to Guayaquil, which I avoided. Or if you go to Guayaquil, like you get on an Uber and then you get off on an Uber. You never walk around the street.
What? You get robbed or something, or you'll die?
It's just a fucking dangerous country, man. You know, life is cheap there for a lot of it. And like at the time, there was a lot of like insurrection stuff, so there's some problems. But it's a really beautiful country, like a really, really stunning country. And same with New Zealand as well. New Zealand's really stunning, especially in the South Islands, where it's like mountains and stuff.
Damn.
I think.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, France is also amazing as well. I always describe France as like the perfect country. But it's, you know, like if you go to like the Alps, like, because it has everything, man. It has good food. It has the Alps. It has beaches. Man, it just doesn't, you don't get much better, to be honest with you. Japan's pretty awesome, to be honest with you as well.
Yeah.
And Australia's cool. But Australia was like more of an experience than anything else.
Yeah. Do you have advice on people that are interested in traveling?
Just do it. If you want to, just do it. Don't fucking dick around. Like I left with like fucking $800 in my bank.
Dang.
You know, like you just have to take the risk. Like, and you do take risks a lot, right? And so you just fucking do it. To be honest with you, that's it.
Damn.
Don't be afraid. Like that's the just don't be afraid of taking risks. And sometimes life, you know, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. I'm sorry, my cat is probably scratching, so you probably hear that. But that's just how it is. You have to just roll the dice and see where you end up. Sometimes you end up with a YouTube channel at the end of it. Sometimes you end up at the bottom of a bridge in Melbourne. Just how things go.
Yeah, just that's easy progression right there.
Just,
oh my goodness.
You take the rough with the smooth, man. You just take the rough with the smooth. It's fun.
So I just have a couple more questions. I appreciate your time, man. This has been great. First one is very like, how to describe this? Surface level, I guess. But like, what is it like to have gained like a video that has like millions of views? Like, does that make, as a creator, does that feel any void, or is it just like, oh, they're
no, that
just happened?
You just actually that is the ultimate secret that I can give to anyone. You can never fill that fucking void. Okay, like you just can't. It just doesn't. You just can't fill it. So you just learn to carry it. You learn to carry that need of being full, no matter what, and then that's it. Now, you'll never be satisfied. So stop trying to be satisfied and just try to be content.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, having a video with like 2 million views is just absolutely, well, I mean, it will be 2 million views by the end of this year, I guess. But it's absolutely crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I still can't believe it happened. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just,
damn, I really appreciate your perspective on things, though. I like that. It seems like you're kind of grounded in more in reality about certain things, right?
I mean, depends. Like, it's all very lofty, airy-headed idealism, isn't it? So it depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I understand that my perspective is not for everyone. So, and you know, the way that I live my life is also not for everyone, because I have like a propensity to take risks. I have no qualms about doing something potentially really dangerous just for no fucking reason. A lot of people, they just can't do that because they get in their head like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And the trick is you just don't think about it. Or if you do think about it, you just do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely more of like a calculated type guy. I'm silly and I like to be outgoing and meet new people and etc. But like at the same time, like I made sure that once I opened my studio, I live like 10-15 minutes away from my studio. You know, I'm either here at my house or like at place. Like I like exploring new places, but like I've definitely made Seattle kind of like my bubble where I know a lot of people know me. I know most places. I can go into most because I interact with businesses as well for production or whatever. So I can go into businesses and be like, hey, and they're like, oh, hey, Blake, or whatever. But I feel like I need to travel or, you know, interact with people outside of Seattle. Like, so I have like touring artists come on. That's why I'm open. excited to like reach out to you because I knew there was going to be a different perspective there as well. But you can talk to people as much as you want, but getting outside of wherever you're from, I definitely think is important. So working on it,
I mean, there are some people that just can do it, right? But if you're just doing what you're doing, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's still realistically good enough. Like, as long as you're going out and trying to meet people and do things that are different, that's how you change and grow. You don't change and grow by sitting in your hometown, working the same job, going home, sleeping, going back to work again.
Fair.
But if you have like an active passion to go and meet others, then and then you still go and do other things. You could go to other parts of the country or to Canada, to South America, whatever. Like, you can still do all that stuff. It's not that difficult. But you just don't live it. You just dip your toes in rather than make it a full-on immersive experience, unless you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets pretty hairy with the full-on immersive experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're a full send it type guy.
No, I don't know, man. No, it's so bizarre. Like, I am always thinking, right? And I'm always planning everything I do, right? Even like simple things just going around my house. Like, okay, I need to do this, 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 and this. But I also know that plans don't last that fucking long. So you need to be able to improvise at the same time. And you also need to know when to take opportunities when they arise. You can't, you can plan as much as you want, but if you see something, okay, I need to take that, you need to then figure out stuff as you go. Yeah. And then, that's how you end up with a YouTube channel.
I'm dead. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. My mom's been, I've only watched like one or two. Maybe I should take her advice and watch more of it, but she's been really into those like manifestation videos on YouTube, and she's like, Blake, trust me, you don't have to sit down and watch it, just play it in the background while you're editing or at the gym, and trust me, it's gonna work. And I'm like, I'm not against it, but
I'm straight up against it, man. I'm straight up against it. Like,
I don't have to tell my mom.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I have seen things that I cannot explain, but manifestation is like, it's a grift. It is just a grift. Like, okay, right. If you want to do something, then you can will it into existence by putting in the work to do it. That's not manifestation. That's just you putting in the work to do it. Of course, you can have like affirmations to continue the work to do it. You could have a thing on the wall that says, I want to have $10,000, right? And then you put in the work to get $10,000. But to say that just by wanting and desiring something will will it into existence is just wrong. Because if that were the case, then all of the people that did affirmations would be billionaires, wouldn't they? And that's the thing. It's the perfect grift, because you can then just say, oh, you're just not manifesting hard enough. Oh, whoopsie, that's your fault. Like, you blame the other person. I don't know. Yeah, something about it makes me. But I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a pretty fucking spiritual guy. I do believe in like, a lot of different crazy bullshits, right? But there are some things I'm just like, no, I need to have a more critical lens and not get bogged down in this, nonsense kind of thing.
What's your take on astrology?
Terrible.
There we go.
I mean, it's like, I mean, in some ways you can justify it and rationalize it. And I'm like, okay, maybe when, Jupiter is close to the Earth, the gravity of Jupiter affects your psychology, that does happen with the moon, with the full moon. So maybe there is an element to that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the fact that at different points in you, because if you think about, like, they're always talking about, oh, you're 28 years old and you're having like the fucking retrograde or some bullshit. Or maybe it's at 28 years old, you're finally thinking about your 30s in a way that actually matters. And of course you're having an existential crisis, Oh my gosh. But people want to attribute really rational responses to like these really, not so rational things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, 100%. Well, man, let's wrap up. What video would you recommend people watching if they haven't seen your channel before?
I wouldn't. No, I mean, maybe I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, if they want to watch, they can watch. If they don't want to watch, they don't have to watch. It doesn't. It's just whatever you want to do. If you want to, go for it. It doesn't make any sense to me, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
can you tell people where to find your channel, though?
Just type in Nomsy, and you should be able to find it. Or if you don't,
there we go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is just fun. I don't really need.
I'll
to
have my
myself.
viewers manifest it. They'll manifest finding your channel.
Yeah, they could do that if they really want to. Maybe eventually it'll just show up on the algorithm.
Yeah, happened to me.
Yeah, no, it happened to one of my friends actually.
Oh wow!
And he's like, I didn't click on it though, and I was like, why the fuck didn't you click on it? He goes, it looked boring.
Oh,
so fuck you, no. All right, bro.
I'm dead. Well, do you have any social media you want people to get links to or anything like that? No, man,
I literally have a YouTube channel. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I don't have Twitter. I have an Instagram, but it's personal.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, relatively quiet. You know?
Yeah. What about like social security card, credit card number, anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Give that out to the people.
I was about to give you my old English one, which is like 46585 blah blah blah. Yeah, no, I memorize all of my card numbers.
That's hard. I have no idea. I could barely remember my license plate number. So
license plate number is a bit challenging. Yeah. No, phone numbers, card numbers,
phone numbers. I still don't know my street address. I've only been in my new place for it's almost been a year. So I should probably learn.
Oh man, my street address is really difficult to remember because it's in Portuguese.
Yeah, I'm dead. I bet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, that means you're doing something right. Like you don't have a social media and you're still getting this traction. You're inspiring people. You're inspiring some random guy who likes Mickey Mouse in Seattle who wanted to talk to you.
I mean, that's why I did this. Is because there is like an element that wanted to have like a more sit down like thing, and then that way people can see it. This is less about getting. For me, this was less about getting people to come and watch my channel from you, but more about getting my viewers to go and watch you, so that way they could actually get like a more personal experience.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
man. Like I was super excited about this. I'm happy we made it work. That's what makes the internet a beautiful thing. You get to meet people from all over the place.
I agree.
So
no, I definitely enjoyed it.
Heck yeah. Well, is there any final advice, any life advice, any final words you want to give to the people out there in the universe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
That's it. And try to look from other people's perspective.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Brand, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, this has been the NAST podcast with...
Nomsy or George, whatever you want to call me.
Perfect outro. Cool.